All right, this is me reading from Epictetus, The Complete Works. This is going to be part 15. Listen to what he says. Don't be deceived. People don't err and stray. It's not the case that rational beings have a natural sense of community with one another. Trust me, anyone who says anything different is tricking you with invalid arguments. But then why do you care? Leave us to our error. Will you be at all worse off if the rest of us believe that we have a natural sense of community with one another and that we should do all we can to preserve it? In fact, your position will be much better and more secure. Since we're surrounded by people who are so confused and so unaware of what they mean by fault and what faults they have or don't have, or how they came to have them, or how they can rid themselves of them, it seems to me that we ought to keep a constant eye on ourselves as well. Might I be one of those people myself? How do I see myself? How do I regard myself? Do I act prudently? Do I behave with self-control? Do I ever say what they say? Can I say my background has equipped me to meet every eventuality? Am I aware of my ignorance, as one who knows nothing ought to be? Do I got to teacher as I would to an oracle, ready to do his bidding? Or do I to enter the school stuffed with snot, wanting only information and the ability to understand books I didn't understand before, so that I can interpret them for others if the occasion arises? Oh, there's a long part with no highlighted notes. That's why goodness takes precedence over every relationship. My father is nothing to me. I value only goodness. Are you so hard-headed? Yes, because that's my nature. That's the currency God has given me. That's why if goodness is different from honor and justice, father, brother, country, and all other worldly things become irrelevant. Should I give up what's good for me so that you can have what's good for you? Shouldn't I yield to you? What's in it for me? I'm your father, yes, but not my God good. I'm your brother, yes, but not my good. However, if we locate goodness and correct use of will, maintaining one's relationship becomes a good. And moreover, it's a good that one gains by giving up externals. My father's taking away my money, but he's not harming you. My brother's going get more of the estate. Let him have all he wants. He won't be getting your self-respect, your trustworthiness, or your brotherly love, will he? Who can make you part with these possessions? Not even Zeus. He chose not to be able to. He made them up to me and gave them to me unimpeded, unconstrained, and unobstructed, just as they were in his case. The primary orientation of a person's training should be as follows. When you leave your home at daybreak, examine everyone you see or hear, and answer as though you were being questioned. What was it you saw? A good-looking man or woman? Apply the test. Is physical beauty subject to will or not? It isn't subject to will. Away with it. What was it you saw? Someone grieving for the death of his child? Apply the test. Death isn't subject to will. Away with it. You met a counsel? Apply the test. What kind of thing is counselship? Is it or isn't it subject to will? It isn't subject to will. Away with it. It doesn't pass the test. Throw it out. It's nothing to you. If we acted like this and oriented our training in this way every day from dawn until dusk, that would be quite something, by the gods. But as things are, we're stunned and caught by every passing impression, and we wake up a little, if at all, only at school. But then when we go back outside and see someone grieving, we say, he's a broken man. If we see counsel, we say, a happy man. If it's someone who's in exile, poor fellow. If it's someone who's destitute, What a pity. He doesn't have enough money for a meal. These then are the pernicious judgments we need to eliminate. They are what we should be focused on. After all, what is weeping and wailing? A judgment. What is misfortune? A judgment. What are strife, discord, fault-finding, negative criticism, impiety, foolish behavior? All of them are nothing more than judgments, and they judge things that aren't subject to will as good or bad. But if someone transfers his judgments to things that are subject to his will, I guarantee that he'll be self-possessed, whatever circumstances he finds himself in. No, better to think, all right then, let's make sure that I keep my will in accordance with nature in this matter. There's no one I care for more than myself, so it would be absurd for me to come to harm just so that someone can win the comic actor's prize. So whom do I want to win? The winner. And in what way? The person I want to win will always win. A good person is invincible because he doesn't enter any contest where he doesn't have an advantage. If you want my land, you can have it. You can have my slaves, my public offices, my body, but you won't make me fail to attain what I desire, or where aversion is concerned, meet with what I want to avoid. This is the only contest he engages in. That has to do with things that are subject to his will. So of course he's bound to be invincible. So we should also make it our daily practice to train ourselves to deal with impressions, because they too pose questions for us. So-and-so's son died. Answer: not subject to will, not a bad thing. So-and-so's father cut him out of his will. What do you think of that? Not subject to will, not a bad thing. Caesar condemned him to death. Not subject to will, not a bad thing. He's upset about all this. Subject to will, not a bad thing. He endured it nobly. Subject to will, a good thing. If we get into the habit of doing this, we'll make progress, because we'll never assent to anything unless we have the cognitive impression of it. So-and-so's son died. What actually happened? His son died. No more than that? No. His ship was lost at sea. What actually happened? The ship was lost. He was taken off to prison. What actually happened? He was taken off to prison. But to say that this has been bad for him is an additional judgment that each individual makes for himself. But it's not right for Zeus to do these things. Why isn't it? I mean, he's made you capable of enduring hardships and giving you greatness of soul. He's removed the label bad from these things. He's made it possible for you to be happy even under these circumstances. He's opened the door for you. When you've reached your limit, take that way out, man, and don't complain. Let's not slumber approach your weary eyes before reviewing all that you did during the day. Where did I go wrong? What did I do? What duty did I leave undone? After this beginning, run back over your actions and then reproach yourself for things done badly and rejoice for things done well. Okay, the next part is pretty long, so I'm going to stop the video for there today.